Hi, my name is Thomas Hong, and I'm an industrial engineer.
And I'm James Murakami. I'm also an industrial engineer. And for our senior project, we designed a travel itinerary database design using RDBMS.
On the agenda today, we'll be going over the background information on how we came across our topic selection, problem statement, the methodology we used, proposed solution, the challenges we faced, and finally the conclusion. So just a little bit of background information on how we came across our topic selection. We were talking with Dr. Yang, who's now our technical advisor, about database systems, and we just came across the idea of working on coming up with one that had to do with travel. We know that there's large amounts of data that are uploaded to the internet in an unorganized fashion, so we asked the question of how can we relate this data and organize it in a way to provide a service. So a problem that we found was that travelers need an improved method of planning an itinerary. When searching the web for information on travel, there's often tons of information to go through, and this is very time consuming. So for our solution, we wanted to do an itinerary building database management system. We built this through Microsoft Access, and this allowed us to build an RDBMS, which is a relational database management system. This is the methodology we used to create our travel database management system. First, we had to determine the entities that we were going to use in our database system, as well as the relationships between these entities. Next, we designed tables and forms. Once these were established, we had to develop the basic logic that we were going to use to build and put all these things together in Access. Once the tables and the forms were all created through Access, we had to test and debug the system. And finally, we wanted to launch our system with the website asp.net. In order to show our proposed solution, we will now do a walkthrough of our travel itinerary building database system.
Welcome to the itinerary building application that James was talking about earlier. We developed this application on Microsoft Access, and its design was heavily influenced by the relational database concepts that we learned in IME482FinalVideo, which was taught by Dr. Yang. And in front of you lies the main form, which allows the user to easily navigate throughout the application. This first button here, the yellow one, is the button that takes you to the user registration page, where users create an account by inputting data about themselves. The orange button is just the login page. And lastly, the gray button right here takes the user to the home page. And to get into the home page, you must be logged in first. To begin, I'm going to start by clicking the yellow button so that we can register a fake account. Okay, and this page is the registration page, which consists of empty text boxes that the users will input data into about themselves, such as the last name, first name, email. Okay, so just putting a fake account in. So once I click register, it's gonna append all this information into the database in one of the tables that we designed. So there's that. And next, what pops up is the login screen. We'll put the username and password. So if you get it wrong, if you get the password wrong, it's gonna say that you put an incorrect password in. So when you put the correct password, it welcomes you back, and then it takes you to the home page. The home page gives the user an easy way to navigate throughout the application once the user has logged in. It greets you at the top of the page saying welcome back and your first name, and under that text is a label that says your active itinerary. Under there is supposed to be the name of the last itinerary that was edited by the user. And if you have no itineraries created already, then this should be blank like this. Under that is a subform. This shows all the activities that you have selected to perform in your active itinerary. And the purpose of this subform and the name of the active itinerary right here is to allow the users to know the last thing they did when they were logged in. And on the right here are a few buttons. these buttons on the right they help users to deal with things that are related to itineraries or user settings. I'm now going to show you the itinerary building process with this application. First thing the user must do is click on this red button and select the preferences. You can see here a list of preferences such as hiking or landmarks or movie theaters, and the user can select what he or she likes to do on trips. So right now I'm just gonna put some preferences for this user. So let's say this user likes cultural theaters, hiking, landmarks, movie theaters, and museums. That's how they select the preferences, and that's how the application knows what to suggest. You can also delete them, just put them back in the available option box. So then you close out of that, and then you click the blue button here, where you will start building a new itinerary. The first form that pops up is the Create New Itinerary page, where you will enter a name for your itinerary. So I called it Smith's Itinerary for Video. Next you must specify where you are going to. So first it asks for the country, state, or province. And for our example, I'm going to use San Luis Obispo. The next form that pops up is the select type. And in this comma box here, it asks you to select the type of activity you wish to search. And in this comma box, the preferences that you selected before on the select preferences page are showing up. So say that the user right now wants to go hiking, or find activities related to hiking in San Luis Obispo. He would select hiking, find suggestions, and there's a list of activities that are related to hiking in San Luis Obispo. So to add it, you click one of the activities. Let's say he wants to visit Bishop's Peak, then you click it, site select it, and then add it, which then gets added to your list of activities for your itinerary. So I'm going to keep adding a few activities. Okay. So there's that. So far you have all the hiking activities on your list. And now you want to look for movie theater activities, or activities related to movie theaters. Before I move on, I want to mention this green button. Let's say you forgot to add something on your preferences earlier, then you can just click it and it'll take you back. And then you can add something or delete something again, but we're just gonna leave it as is. So movie theaters, find suggestions, let's add everything. Let's do one more activity, museums. So San Luis Obispo Railroad Museum, add that. Now the user created his list of activities that he wants to perform on his trip. By the way, you can also delete activities if you don't want them. So close the activities list, and now you're ready to schedule your activities. You click this green button, which takes you to the next step. And on the schedule selected activities page are a bunch of time slots that goes from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. And in the comma box are all the activities that the user has decided to perform on their trip to San Luis Obispo. And what he or she does is just drags it to the time slot that he wants. Okay. Say this is the order that he wanted to perform his trip in, then he would be complete. But you also have the option to swap activities and make sure it's perfect before moving on. But you can't have the same activity in one box, they'll swap with each other. So let's say this is the finalized activity schedule for this user. You press complete, takes you back to the home page. So this green button, what it does, it shows a subform that will list all the itineraries you've created in the past. You have an option to edit the itinerary from here or delete the itinerary. Let's close that. And just like there was the edit option on the page I just showed you, this orange button allows you to edit your existing itineraries as well. So it says which one of your itineraries do you want to edit. The one you just created. Smith's itinerary for video. Edit. And here's the edit itinerary page. It displays the itinerary that you're editing, which is your active itinerary now. And you have a couple things you're able to do. One thing you can do is update the itinerary's name. So, into Joe's itinerary. Second version. And then it says your itinerary name has been updated, and then it changes, and you can see that right here. You also have the option to change the city that you're traveling to, but we're going to leave it as is for now. You can view the activities that you have added from when you're scheduling or when you were selecting your activities. And this orange button will allow you to add, rearrange, or view other activities in case you didn't finish your schedule. So right now, he left off at museums. Say he wants to add some more activities. Landmarks. Then it goes into the activities list. Okay, close that. Home. And home. And you can see that once you created or once you edited the itinerary, the text box updated to Joe's itinerary second version because the last one you edited, and the list of activities that are there so that he can refer back to the subform in case you forgot what activities you put on there. Okay, log out, and let's say log back in. So one more thing I want to show in the editing page. The scheduling, when you click it, you can see that all of the activities are in their text boxes that they were placed in earlier. So if you mess up on your schedule while creating your itinerary, you can always go back. Okay, and that concludes the itinerary building application that was developed from the senior project. Thank you very much.
The main challenge that we faced during our project was that we underestimated the time needed to learn the programming language to use Visual Studio. This significantly held us back in being able to launch our application online with ASP.NET, and we were unsuccessful in that. However, we were able to successfully design a travel itinerary building RDBMS using Microsoft Access. That concludes our presentation. We would like to give a big thanks to Professor Yang, our technical advisor, and thank you for listening.